Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here again. You know, I must confess, I had to confess to myself that I've gotten to be an old man. It took me a long time to believe that, but finally I got to accept it. And being an old man, that gives me the right to speak to anybody that's not old with some authority. And I'm going to speak to you with that authority. Let me tell you something, and I want you to listen to an old man. This is what's happening. We're living in a world that's all messed up. When I say in a world, I'm talking about in every country, the United States beginning where I am, and every other nation that exists. Every last one of them are screwed up. But they are screwed up by the support of all of the people that's involved. Whatever side you find yourself on, that system exists because of the totality of the human race. Whether there's people with trillionaires, that exists because of you. Whether people are starving every day, that exists because of you. Now, why and what's the benefit of it? First of all, there's only one way that's righteous. There's only one way that's beautiful, and that's the way that works for everyone. Anything else is just a lie. And here's what happened. Someone comes along and suggests that some are better than others and they should reap the rewards of life, those things that are essential for survival, those things that are common amongst every last one of them, but they, because they claim to be superior, deserve more at the expense of others. And they come along and implement laws that protect that way of thinking. And violators have to be punished. And so that system goes on until people believe and accept that as the way of life. The way of life, as being the way of life. Now what happens? There are those people, as I indicated, that profit from it. And there are those people who don't. So why do those people who don't go along with it? Because there's a penalty to pay for not going along with it. Those called violation of the laws. See, if you don't go along with it, that means you got to violate their rules. And those rules got consequences. And the people say, well, it's not worth that much. But to one who knows what is the benefit, there's nothing more important than to stand up. And so what I'm saying to each of you, ladies and gentlemen, who are listening to me today, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, if you're not hurting, it's because you're riding on the coattail of the suffering of others, just like the billionaires and trillionaires. And if you are suffering so bad, you're standing on the corners with street signs saying, I'm hungry, got nowhere to go, I'm holding a dog's paw asking for help. You're there because you choose to be there. You see, in order for you to stand up, that system that you are bending your back to has said that it will kill you. That system said it will kill you. Now, I want you to just think back for a moment. They say that once mankind was in the Garden of Eden, and he was given some instructions to say, if you violate these, then you will die. Then they were violated. And all of this wonderful things that could have been stopped. And what happen as a result? This happened, as far as we know. This happened. So, you died from that to this. So that's an indication to me, if this be true, then dying from this can be a rebirth to that which we all say we want. And we cannot have it here. We cannot have it here because those who profit from the way things are will kill anybody who stands up. And so those of you who do not know the future, those of you who do not know you're going to bend, and you will bend, And you will bend, and you will bend, and you will bend. And God Almighty will send someone in your midst to tell you all you got to do is stand up. And you won't stand up because you are afraid to die, even though you know you're going to die anyway. Why not stand up? I'm saying to all of you young people, why in your lifetime, let it be known, let the records record that when you were alive, there were people in your community who had substandard living. Let it not be recorded that in your lifetime, there were people in other states where the natural disasters were just tormenting them and there was nothing that you could do because you were so busy trying to make sure that your ends were met. Let it not be said that you did not have enough intelligence. Let it not be said that you did not have the compassion of heart that would allow you to see beyond yourself and see yourself in every man. And if it was a wonderful thing, you saw yourself as wonderful. But if it was a painful thing, you saw yourself as in pain. And when you're in pain, you got one thing on your mind, and that's to get rid of it. And how do you do it? By treating people like you want to be treated. How do you do that? You realize you don't own anything. You brought nothing. You take nothing. Nothing belongs to you. Everything is a given. Even you. By George, why can't you make up your mind and say, in my lifetime, there will be peace. In my lifetime, there will be prosperity. In my lifetime, there will be joy. Why? Because I gave of myself to make sure that it happened. I wasn't worried about whether the next man was going to do it. I spent too much time trying to make sure that I did. And it is because I did it that we, all of us who say, I did it, now can walk back into paradise. Hey, I'm not that intelligent. I'm not that smart. So when something like that comes to me and I can articulate it, I say it comes from God. I'm not crazy enough to think that I'm just that magnificent, because what I have just spoke to you is magnificent, whether you don't think so or not. It's magnificent. And I give the credit to God. But I'm glad to be the instrument, because I've waited, I've looked, I've searched for that instrumentality to come from somewhere, and it hasn't. So it doesn't point bad to you. You just haven't known. Now you're not angry at me because I'm saying these things to you. You are glad because deep down inside you've been saying it all yourselves. But you just couldn't stand because you were not given to stand. But now you can stand because it has been confirmed that what you know deep down in your soul is true. Thank you so very much for giving me this your time, young folks. And I hope you got something out of it. Eddie Marcus saying, bye-bye.